funny to live in a time, which it's always relevant to
Mhm.
your age and what came up around you. But as I was just saying, as we entered into this, to get a PS4 in 2020 and go, wow, I got a PS4. And me, because I'm an adult, because not only do I enjoy video games, it's like my biggest hobby, it's also my job. And I'm also 33. So I have the financial means to just purchase what I want as far as video game wise and play it. You know, whereas a child, it was very much like a birthday and Christmas kind of thing of like hope for it. And it's just so funny to me to be like, PS4, man, that thing's ancient.
I still have a vivid memory of getting excessively excited because my father brought home a VHS copy of Disney's Peter Pan. Like that was cause for celebration in the big old clamshell VHS,
the plastic like test dummy case.
Yep.
Yeah,
I remember
they
snaps
put that
that
in
always go wrong and like pop
Oh
in.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was like,
loved it.
oh my gosh, you brought home that movie. That's amazing. And now it's like, you know, a PS4 gets that same.
Right. It's funny because when I started at Achievement Hunter, I was 24. And so Halo 2, I think came out in 2004. I was like 17 when Halo 2 came out. And that's by far the most multiplayer I've ever played of any game. Like I played Halo 2 for about a year, 2 years of like 3 games. You know what I mean? Like it's all I did. It's just multiplayer, day in, day out, all day, all night, all weekend. That's all I did. And starting at Achievement Hunter, it was still close enough where like it was kind of talked about like, oh, it's old, but it's not ancient. You know what I mean? Like, oh, remember Halo 2? And I'd go, oh yeah, you know, less than 10 years ago, I would play it. And with Bungie, you could go to the website and it would track all your stats, like every stat ever, how many games you've played, how many kills you have, with what vehicle, what weapon, like everything. It was so
Hours
fascinating.
spent on that site just looking at
so
my KDA and everything.
And I had the most Halo 2 games of anyone at the entire company because they talked about like who had this many, that, and it was somewhere around, I think I had around 8,000 games played. And it just tells you right off, like it's like 8,000. And that's not, you know, numbers get skewed of like, oh, how many game hours do you have? Like in Fallout, it's like, oh, well, I have 200, but I've left the game on for 50 hours. You know what I mean?
Right.
Something like that. Like 8,000 games is 8,000 games. Yeah, I probably quit some early, but like most of those are legitimate. Just, I mean, like 2 years of my life just playing that game. What's crazy to me to think about that is that so much that's so ingrained into me of like, oh, I remember the Halo times. So this year, I fucking turned 34, and that was half my life ago. I was just like,
That's crazy.
Fuck, no.
The longest
It was
time.
17 years ago. 17 years, man.
We're old.
Good old
I know.
days.
Like I said, in early Achievement Hunter, it's like, oh, I used to play Halo 2 all the time. Now I'm playing Halo 3, you know, because I played Halo 3 and then I kind of dropped off there. I didn't play much of like Reach or anything after that as far as multiplayer. But I was just thinking about that the other day where I finally hit the point where I can't remember how old I am. I have to constantly think if am I 33 or am I 34?
Yeah,
because it's
I'm
like
there
you
with
get to
you.
the year thing.
Who
So
cares
when I
about
thought,
36?
oh no, well, it's mostly, it's not like, oh, I'm old. It's like, who gives a shit? Is what it is. Who gives a shit? It doesn't mean anything. It
I'm
means
this
nothing,
petty.
you know?
Yeah.
The last one, like 21's the big one, right? It's like 18, and then 21's the big one.
Yeah.
And then
And then it's
really the
decades
next
after that.
big one, it's 30. After you're 30, who gives a shit? Are you 40? Who gives a shit? So it dawned on me that I was turning 34 this year. And then again, like the number 17 is just burned into my head for 2 reasons. Halo 2 and Zac Efron in 17 again. And I was thinking about the Halo 2 thing.
Came out of left field. What?
No,
one
not up
was
here.
expecting it.
Not up here, dude. There's only 2 lanes, and that was one of them. Okay,
I was
fresh
talking
off
to
High
my-
School Musical.
Hell yeah, it was.
I've never seen High School Musical.
Wait,
Well,
who was
when-
the
hey,
other
when
guy
we-
with Zac Efron? It was it Matthew
no.
Perry?
No.
Oh yeah. Matthew Perry was his grown-up version.
Grown up
I already
version.
know where you're going with that, Michael. No.
Yeah. Yes, we're doing High School Musical.
No.
Oh God.
Gotta get your head in the game.
Get your head in the game. You gotta get your head in the game. I used to know all the lyrics. I
sound
used to know all the
appealing at
lyrics.
all.
I bet
I
if I
haven't seen
listened
good
to it,
ones.
if I listened to it, it would come back to me. You know, like, dude, fucking stick to the status quo. High School Musical 1. They're all dancing in the cafeteria.
Flying, soaring. There's not a.
And they're doing this. They're doing this.
Could be.
Are they actually behind like a green screen flying
In-
like that?
No, it's they're just running around with their arms out. They also do
okay.
that. I think it's in High School Musical 2. The boys are back when he and Corbin Blue are in the junkyard. They're like running around singing in the junkyard. But really, I think the cherry on top of the entire trilogy is Bet on It, because that is the biggest emotional journey that Troy goes through. Because he's very grounded, he's very like friend oriented. You know, in the first movie, it's about like, you know, oh shit, I like singing, and like this is pretty Glee. Like Glee fucking just ripped this off, where he's like, I'm the basketball player, I'm the basketball star, I can't be singing. And his friends are like, ooh, you better not miss the big game. But he really likes singing. And then so that's like the whole first movie. But the second one, then like everybody's cool with it because they don't stick to the status quo. They do what they want. The one kid on the team, he wants to be a fucking chef. He's gonna be a chef. Apparently that's not cool. Apparently that is up there with like theater. It's like, I can't let anyone know that
that
I
whole
like,
song
I
of
like
sticking to the
baking.
status
I'm a
quo
chef, don't let-
is the most
let 'em know.
lowest stake things that people are not
It
sticking
really
to the
is.
status quo.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
he's
there's
I
at
like
no point does
baking.
one of the kids be like, I love heroin. It's like, no, you gotta stick with the status quo.
I love science. And they're like, shh, don't tell anyone. But the second one, you see, it's during the summer, and Troy gets a job at the fancy country club being like, they all get jobs like in the kitchen, being like wait staff. But because Sharpay, her dad either owns it or he's like high on the board of it or whatever.
Sharpay.
Sharpay and Ryan, they're the twins. They're like the bad guys, but they learn their lesson by the end of the movie. But then at the beginning of the next movie, they're assholes again. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really make sense. There's no
Whoa.
real growth there. That's the
Oh.
problem. Okay.
Damn.
But in the second movie, they all start
Whoa.
working in the cafeteria, and immediately Troy gets a promotion to be like a caddy because
Oh,
they love him
damn.
and he's gorgeous looking. And Sharpay, you know, she wants him. She wants to steal him from Gabriella.
Of course.
And then he gets he gets his own clubs, he gets his own shoes, and then his friends are kind of like, "Yo, you're being a piece of shit now. Like, you're being like the shitty upper class, treating us like shit. What the fuck, bro? What's up with that?" And Bet on It is the big song he has to himself about like, "What? Who am I?" And it's him running around singing on the golf course.
That's like if you've seen the memes of High School Musical of Zac Efron out on a field,
What?
like very emotionally just gesturing out as
He does a lot of
sings.
jumping and like
what
springing,
that
like
song
ballet
is.
type moves. Yeah.
Yeah, they also
there's him
like
looking.
they could
there's
have
him looking in the water.
They could have put him somewhere where there was much more to interact with. They could have kept like much more intimate shots, but it's just him out an open like golf course.
Yeah.
And it's just wide shots of Zac Efron trying to fill that space as best as possible with his tiny self.
Yeah. I think it starts off, he's like hitting the ball, and the song lines up with him just being like, I'm in a funk, man. I'm not hitting the ball good. Like, that's a bad
What the
swing.
funk,
I'm
man?
in a funk.
Fredo,
None of
buckle
this-
up. You're gonna
Anyway,
Michael's gonna
well-
make you experience this.
No,
Woo!
I don't,
we'll do
I don't need it.
one a night. We'll do one a night. I'm gonna tell you though, I
Well, how
think the
many
second one's the
are
best one.
there?
Well, there's only 3, dude.
And
There's
then
only
the
3.
show.
There's a
And the third
trilogy?
one,
Ah!
and the third one's a real movie. The first 2 were Disney Channel originals,
Yeah,
but the third
third one
one
went to
that was in
theaters.
theaters because they're
shit.
like, these kids are making us rich. And then you never heard from any of them ever again, except Zac Efron.
Yep, basically.
Basically, Vanessa Hudgens did a couple movies, but
Yeah, she was
and then
around for a bit.
and then you can get ready
She
to
did
watch
that-
the TV show.
she did that Beauty and the Beast.
There's a
movie.
TV show now? What's
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta watch
Well,
that
there
too,
was.
Fredo.
I don't know if it's still a thing. There was.
High School, the musical, the TV show.
That,
Oh,
that
yeah, you're
whole
right. That's
cinematic
recent.
universe. I
That's
can't.
right.
I got no room.
You
for it.
can, and you will.
You'll
You're
love
going to
it.
be a pro. You're going to fire back in here, you know, whenever. I can't give a timeline because who knows when it's going to happen. I refuse to do it digitally. We could do like a virtual watch party.
Yeah.
But then you
Absolutely
don't
not.
know
That's
he's
not good enough.
looking.
I don't know. He's looking. I can't dance around
Jeremy?
him.
Michael can't be
I
there
can't-
grabbing
I can't dance
Alfredo's
around
head
him. Oh,
and
yeah,
pointing into
yeah.
the TV.
Yeah,
I'm going
I
to be
saw
doing
that. I heard
the
that.
moves, you know?
It's gonna be a hate watch.
Sometimes you gotta do hate watches.
You'll start out hateful and your soul will be cleansed by
Every
the end
watch
of
for
the
me is a
film.
hate watch.
Yeah, you watch.
Movie.
You'll be singing Wildcats everywhere. Raise your hands up in the air. You're gonna be singing that, okay?
Yeah. We're all
What
in this
team?
together.
What team?
Yeah.
Wildcats.
Jeremy's
What
there.
team? Wildcats.
See,
By
John,
the third-
I know that's a song because I sang that. I don't know where I heard it, but I sang it in a GTA one time. Someone's like, "Hey, we're all in this together," and I sang that, and Lindsay went, "Was that High School Musical?" And I was like,
This
"I
together.
guess." I was like,
I
"Probably."
guess.
I have
Where
no
did you get
idea.
that?
I don't know. I just
The-
heard it like somewhere.
Somewhere in passing or something.
Some like it
By
was
the,
probably like
uh,
a GIF or well, not a GIF, but like a meme or some YouTube video or something because that's all I watched. So I was like, it must have someone pipped it in on something, and I was like, I've heard this. I've
Oh
heard
my God,
someone
my-
sing this.
You know, if you get like allegedly, I don't think anyone here's had it, but if you see movies or TV and people have amnesia and they're like, it's gonna come back. It's slowly happening right now. Bet on it. Slowly
Oh man,
being pieced together. Gotta work on
I
my
don't need-
swing.
I
Gotta
don't need
do
this in
my own
brain.
thing.
I don't
That's
need
a
it to
line.
come back in my
It's
brain
coming. It's
ever.
flowing back through me, dude. Oh my god.
when
it's coming
lockdown's
back.
over, Alfredo.
Woo! That
Then
was-
that's
that
when
was-
I go into the real lockdown.
That was one of the first.
To avoid
You
Michael.
can't hide from me. I'll find you. Okay. That was one of the first things I ever rented on Netflix when Netflix was, I'm going to send a DVD to your house. I
Oh,
rented High School
jeez.
Musical 1.
Yeah, that was a thing.
I watched it and I was like, fucking High School Musical 2, right to the top of the queue. Right, send it to me next. Because like I'll be honest, it's embarrassing. I slept on the whole series because I didn't have
Oh,
Disney.
No.
So all of a sudden, the
Ooh.
third one was coming out in theaters, and I went, "This is trash. This is funny. I'll watch the first one." And I went, I fucking wept, and I was like, "This is art, dude." I will say,
I
Zac
wept.
Efron does this really weird thing in the first one because obviously they're lip syncing because it's like a musical, so they're like
Yeah,
lip syncing
you
to
gotta
their
jump
own voices.
around
And he
hard
does
to-
this weird. His mouth is very weird in the first movie. Like he doesn't know how to lip sing without like every time he sings, it's like it looks like he's trying to unhinge his jaw and like eat something.
Yeah.
But they cleaned it up by the second film. They were like, look, I guarantee you,
terrible.
Disney's people came in and they were like, look, we don't like it, but you're handsome, you got a great voice, you're going places. We'll work on it in between the first and the second film, and they did it. Okay, they fixed it. He doesn't do it anymore, and now he's a big buff guy, right? Now he's a big tough guy.
Oh, big buff tough guy, huh?
Big buff
Yeah,
tough guy,
behind a
big
musical.
seps, big pecs, you know? Well, we see what he did first. First thing he did, he buffed up his diaphragm, okay? And then everything went outward from there, right? You know,
That's
abs and pecs are
sing with
easy.
your
when-
diaphragm.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, dude, if I can belt out bet on it, I can, you know.
Fredo,
squat,
where's your
I can
diaphragm?
bench.
Fredo, where's your diaphragm?
Yeah. That's it.
He's just rubbing
Rubbing 'em.
himself.
Keep rubbing them.
Yeah, take care of that diaphragm.
Man, I love this. You
Yeah.
guys have lit a
From
fire
the
in me.
ribs down to the knees.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, push it out. You gotta push it out.
Like you see someone like fingering their own back of the knee. Like, oh, I don't think I should be watching this.
So
That
gross.
took a few steps.
So gross.
That's disgusting. That's it. But is that called a like a knee pit? I had this conversation with I forget who, but that this is an armpit, right? It's where your arm meets your body.
Armpit.
Oh,
And
I see
so,
what you're
like,
getting at.
Possible.
And so like the back of your knee could be like a knee pit, maybe. But
Doesn't sound sexy though.
I would say, but is
Yeah.
the space where your dick and balls
Joints.
meet, is that a cockpit?
No, that's
is
at the
your
top of the
is your
plane.
penis a joint?
Well, does it have to be a joint there? Or is it just where
That's
two,
what that is. That's
two
a
different
that's a
areas
shoulder
of
socket.
skin
That's a
meet?
joint.
I mean, I feel
But
like
that's
you're reading
like-
too
but
much
is that
into
why you
it if
call it a
think needs to
pit?
be a joint.
Why is it
Too
why is it an
much.
arm pit?
Too much, dude. This is what happens, you know, when you get a bunch of eggheads in the room. We're talking about the passion of fucking the back of a knee. You guys,
And also, you can't prove to
You
me
know?
there's not a joint in there. I don't
Why,
care
I
how many
can-
skeletons you bring
Can you
in.
ask?
I'll
Wait,
tear that bad boy
Jackie must
apart.
know.
Okay.
No.
Jackie's been taking a lot of
No,
anatomy.
I refuse to. Skeletons are fake. I refuse.
Again, stop
Skeletons
introducing
are real.
science to
That's
this
not in
man.
me.
We don't want to hear science, okay? This is a subject and a conversation based on passion and passion alone.
Right.
We don't want facts or figures.
I
okay?
read on Facebook that there's a joint in my penis, and I need.
And you should be worried
Evidence.
about it. You should be worried about it because they're going to take it from you.
I need you to give me evidence.
Your penis
Right.
joint?
Yeah, and I
gonna
need you
get
to give me
snatched up
evidence
like
that there's
that.
not, and
Like a
don't
bird
say a
scooping a
skeleton or
fish out of
science
the
because that's
ocean.
biased.
This
Don't
got
know
away
how,
from
I
us.
don't know how I do that.
No, this is where it's always been. You just went in a circle. Welcome back.
Welcome,
Welcome
back. Hey.
back.
Back to high
Your
school
journey-
music.
Our
Your
cheesecakes
journey
a
is
pie.
complete.
Our cheesecakes a
Sir,
cake.
Our cheesecakes,
Circle of
what are
life.
they?
All right, here we go. Run
What
this
are they?
conversation
Where'd all
all
the
over
soup
again.
go?
The soup's gone. And I'm just
Bet
waiting for
on
those
it,
lights to
bet
come on.
on
They're
it.
just
You
not doing
can't
it.
Pad.
bet on
There
me.
they
There's
go.
the baby back.
The song
Should I
ends with
show the
him
back of my knee again? Should I
saying,
get up there
"You
and do
can
that?"
bet on
No.
me." Okay, he
No.
knows by the end of the song he's back. He's there for his friends. You can bet on him. You can rely on Troy.
But is
And-
Troy
and that's
vibing?
it.
Is Troy
That's
vibing?
it.
Is Troy
Fuck
vibing
yeah,
in the
he's
show?
vibing, dude. He's vibing. He's vibrating. He's like a beat.